I chose Jane Goodall for my scientist. A little bit about her background and childhood. Dr. Valerie Jane Morris Goodall was born on April 3rd, 1934 in England. Her parents got divorced when she was about 12 years old. However, growing up, she loved nature and had a special love for being outdoors at a young age, and especially animals. She loved animals. She had a dog, a pony, and a tortoise. As for her education, she graduated high school in 1952 but was unable to afford college, so she attended secretarial school in South Kensington. Later on, she did earn her PhD in 1966 from Cambridge University. Jane first started becoming interested in science at a young age. She loved being outside with nature. When she was 8 years old, she read Tarzan and Dr. Dolittle and wanted to do work with the animals in those books. She spent her free time as a child observing birds and animals and made sketches. So, all throughout her young life, she was exposed to observing animals and writing down what she was seeing. So, this kind of sparked her love for nature and observing animals. Some obstacles. Um, she was very short on money, so she picked up waitressing jobs and worked for a documentary film company in hopes to gain enough money for school. Another obstacle she faced, she was in Tanzania when she developed malaria, which delayed the start of her work. It was also getting difficult for her to observe and spot the chimpanzees. Her search was scary for these animals, so she had to observe the animals from afar. Interesting hobbies. She enjoys gardening. She gardened a lot all throughout her life and passed on that hobby to many of the African kids she met when she was in Africa studying the chimpanzees, and she also loves butterflies. Her field of biology is anthologist, which is a scientist who studies animals and their natural environment, and conservationist, who is someone who advocates for preservation of wildlife. Primatology also falls under her category, which is the study of primates. These all go hand in hand with each other, and her studies of the chimpanzees and how she wanted to prevent them from extinction and preserve their environment. Her main question was how to prevent chimpanzees from extinction and what are specific actions that chimpanzees do that relate them to humans and contradict pre existent scientific theories. Her most recent paper is her book called The Book of Hope, a survival guide for trying times. This image here is a map of Africa. She narrowed down where the chimpanzees still exist in Africa. This quote, which is a part of her book, kind of explains how chimpanzees once were all over the country, and as time progressed, their population unfortunately has started to decrease. And she explains further in her book how she hopes to save them and their environment from extinction. Her three discoveries, she made three observations that challenged conventional scientific ideas, one being chimps are omnivores, not herbivores, and even hunt for meat. They use tools, and chimps make their tools, which is a trait previously used to define humans. Um, Jane is still hard at work today, raising awareness and money to protect the chimpanzees, their habitats, and the planet we all share. She travels about 300 days a year giving speeches, talking to government officials and business people around the world, encouraging them to support wildlife conservation and protect critical habitats. What I admire most about Jane is her drive. Initially, she was very limited in education and money, which prevented her from beginning her research. Jane was very passionate about chimpanzees and wanted to do as much as she could to try and conserve their environment. I would also say I'm a very driven person. I believe I can achieve anything I put my mind to. I also resonated a lot with her childhood. I was a very exploratory kid who loved being outside and being surrounded by animals. Here are my works cited. Thank you for watching.